Welcome back to another episode of Sean Walker's Daily Word. Today's title is Worrier to Warrior. I'll be reading from Revelations 21:7-8. And it reads, "He who overcomes will inherit these things. I will be his God, and he will be my son. But for the cowardly and unbelieving, the abominable, the murderer, the immoral, the sorcerer, the idolaters, and all liars, their part will be in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." Here's what I heard. The struggles you're facing right now are only making you stronger. Yeah, money problems can feel overwhelming, but there's nothing compared to what's ahead. The real question is, where is your inheritance? Is it in the world or is it locked inside of you? Jesus never once complained about being born in a manger. For 30 years he lived poor, working hard, struggling just like us. He didn't have much, but he did have a calling and he did have a purpose for his life. And guess what? You have a calling too. You might not know who you are yet or whose you are, but you were born an overcomer. The complaining, the quitting, the I can't mentality, that's the form from the world, not from God. The Bible even tells us that in the world we will have trouble. So don't be shocked when trials hit. Don't be surprised when people talk behind your back or when they don't like you. The word has already warned us about all of this. How many of you still haven't read your Bibles all the way through yet? If you just hang on and don't quit, God's got breakthrough and an inheritance waiting for you. Just like me, you can make it through this. Some of us weren't smart enough to buy life insurance, but that's why God gave us faith insurance. Faith is the best insurance policy you will ever have. You decide how valuable it is by how much you believe God for it. But remember, faith without works is dead. You're going to have to fight the good fight of faith. There will be attacks, setbacks, and surprises and unexpected bills. That's just life. It might not make sense right now, but it's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to make faith. Your life is supposed to be unexplainable. God tells you what to do and how to do it, and you can't do it your way. Lean not on your own understanding, he says. You don't get to make the rules when it comes to your life and God. You just have to obey what he tells you. Those who don't believe will keep living in mental chains. Is God available for everyone? Yes. Will everyone turn to him? No. People talk real big until the doctor give them a cancer diagnosis and they got 2 weeks to live and suddenly they're desperate in need for prayer. God will let the non-believers live just to show you how difficult life can be as a real life example. The world is changing and God's kingdom is growing. Make sure you're on the right side of things. Just saying I believe God isn't going to cut it anymore. You need to show it with your actions. Here is my worship, all of my worship. Receive my worship, all of my worship. I will not be silent. I will always worship you. As long as I'm breathing, I will always worship you. I hope this message encouraged somebody. Stay blessed.